Hey, Marie.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, morning.
Hi there.
Marie, you're on mute. I don't know if you know that.
I'm mute.
There
Am
you
I
go.
ready?
Yeah, you're perfect.
Thanks, Justin. Oh
No
my gosh,
problem.
this is hilarious, you guys. We are just now for the first time sorting out how to stream this on YouTube Live as well. So I'm super excited to have all of these new faces with us today. I see some familiar faces, a beautiful Andrea and Mary Fox, old school mighty companions. And I just felt really guided to offer this talk just for everybody. I feel very much like now is the time to just put it all out there. And so thank you for your interest and thank you for being here. It's super, super exciting for me. So I figured today I would just start us off talking a little bit about generosity from A Course in Miracles. But before I do that, I wanted to just give a little bit of, let me see how I can sort this out. 1 second. Okay. Can everybody see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So before I did that, I just wanted to give a little context and a little history about who I am and what I'm about and what I'm about to do with my business, which is like really kind of exciting and frightening in the same moment. And just kind of go with it like that. And then so I'll kind of talk for a little bit. Similar to what we do in our online courses, I'll give you a little information and then I'm going to invite a couple guests in to offer their wisdom and their musical talents. And then we'll open it up for a little Q&A or comments or anything like that that you guys have. Okay? Yeah. Now, before I do all of that, I want to invite you to just be with me. All right. So just like maybe a 30-second meditation practice where wherever you are, if you want to sit quietly and comfortably and put your hands kind of open like this on your lap. And you can keep your eyes open and just looking down in front of you slightly. And this is a practice called just being, very simple meditation technique where you feel your feet on the ground. You allow all things to be exactly as they are. If your mind is going in different directions, that's fine too. You're simply observing and allowing everything to be exactly as it is. And as all of us are sitting quietly around the world, we call in the highest wisdom, the brightest light, and the purest energy to infuse our time together. To be insightful and inspiring and uplifting. From here, I'll invite you to close your eyes, friends, old and new. You're just going to take 3 deep breaths. However you're breathing is just fine for now, in and out. And if you feel guided, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart space. Just a moment of gratitude for all that is. Good. Namaste. Namaste. Yes. That was like 2 minutes, and I gift that to you. Just take that, just sitting. It's really, you have nothing to do but just sit. and take a moment to just let it all be exactly as it is. And it's super powerful. Let's see some more people coming in here. Yeah. So guys, here's the deal. Here's what's happening with me. Some of you have met me on some of the shows that we've been doing with Charlie Freak and Sasha Stone and some of the bigger names kind of out there in the truth community. And I came to all of this really by default. I was super inspired by a lot of what I was hearing back in March, but also really traumatized, as I think a lot of us have been. This year has just been really difficult in terms of us learning how to process all of the information that's coming at us. And so I started to, within my own communities, I have 2 businesses. I have a company that's dedicated to yoga teacher trainings. It's called It's Yoga International. And then I have Yoga Off the Mat coaching, which is kind of my personal branding. And all of it kind of happened very organically. I was married prior to my current marriage, and he passed away. And he was really the founder of It's Yoga, which is a beautiful system of Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga. And when he passed away, he left it to me. And I sincerely wanted to do right by him. I was so grateful for his trust in me and for all of the teachings that I learned from him. We were together for 7 years. And so a lot of the things I learned, like turning away from what doesn't work towards what does, really came to me from him in my first real deep awakening when I was about 24, when I realized, Larry was his name. He would say things like, everything you think is make-believe. And I would be like, what? What do you mean everything I think is make-believe? I'm a college graduate. I'm super smart. I know all of this stuff. And so yoga for me was like a beginner's rabbit hole, if you will, because it really invited me to challenge the way that I had thought of things. Now, Larry was 30 years older than me, so obviously that was kind of like a thing. I was 24, he was 54. And I remember him saying to me, when we first kind of came together, he said, well, what is it that you want in your life, Marie? And we've all had these questions, haven't we? Like when we really had a moment where we were present and someone said to us, honestly, like, what is it that you want? And when he said that to me, I was really clear. I said, I want, to be happy. Doesn't everybody else? He's like, very good. Do you think you could be happy with me? And I was like, whoa, you're my yoga teacher. Like, that's unethical. He said to me, no, you're my yoga teacher. And I was like, this guy is so loco, right? He's so weird. And then I said, well, you're old. Like, you're as old as my father. You're older than my father. And he was like, you think age is real? And I was like, yeah, obviously, don't you? And he was like, trying to invite me to look at things from a broader perspective. And I said, well, here was my icing on the cake. Well, we're different religions, like I grew up in a very Christian background. You're Jewish, my family is going to lose their mind. He's like, you think God has one name? And this was really like big for me because I realized if I was going to practice yoga, which is union with spirit, with God, then I was going to have to let go of some of the things that I thought were true, and one of them was primarily, what do others think of me? And really valuing myself based on what others think of me. And at this point, it was my community, it was my family of origin, it was all of my friends and all of that. So this decision when I was 24 was huge for me. And it's not stopped. I can just say that. It has been a constant letting go of what no longer serves. And so, we put together this business after he passed, and all of this stuff this year has really invited me to look at things in terms of what is my intention here? Like, what is it that I want to offer in the world? And really, our motto at It's Yoga International is to share the love. Like that's our simple motto. It's just to share the love. And so we thought, well, we'll change it into a nonprofit organization. So, okay, I looked into that. What is it to do a nonprofit organization? Well, it costs $8,000, to get the attorney to put the paperwork to it. And I was just like, wow, that's a lot of money. So I hired a business coach this year. I was like, I need to sort out money because I don't get it. I always have enough in the end because God always provides. It's a beautiful thing. I live a beautiful life in Mexico. I have 2 amazing children, an incredible husband who's more my age. He's only 8 years older than me. And you know, we have a lot of commonalities, and we love to be in the ocean and all of this amazing stuff, right? Just welcome to those of you who are coming in. Just dive in. We're going to go with the flow on this call, but I'm just giving a little backdrop here to who I am and what's going on with me. So I hired a business coach, and I started my own branding about a year ago based on this friend business coach who was like, oh, you need to do your online courses. Like, this is how you make a lot of money. You need to do online courses. And I was like, oh, I could do that. Like I could do all of my coaching things. And so I, got everything together, and I started figuring out how to put content online and showing up in lives and putting myself out there. It was not easy for me initially because I'm a little bit shy, but bottom line was that I was so committed to sharing the love. I'm so committed to sharing the gifts that I have received from my life, from Larry, from the teachers, from Dorothy, who was my business, not my business coach, my mentor and coach for 15 years. And so I had this like legacy thing going, and I've got this coaching thing going. She's like, you need to raise your prices. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to be selling high ticket offers. And this is really the way the world is, isn't it? It's like everything's getting inflated. Everything's getting more expensive. And I was like, all right, and so I'm really trying to like gear up. But the bottom line was that a few months ago, I realized that it just didn't feel right for me to do it that way. It just doesn't. And if it does for other people, then, great, like God bless them. But I really needed to take some time off and really sort out what it is I wanted to provide for humans in the world and how I wanted to operate. And this is what's happened. I basically went down the rabbit hole really, really good this time around. I know many of you have also been down the rabbit hole. But the good news about the rabbit hole with this curriculum that has been established in my soul from A Course in Miracles, which is a metaphysical text, is that I knew the whole time I was going through all of this darkness and all of this, like, what in the world is going on, energy, that only love is real. So that's always been the foundation for me, that only love is real. So no matter what I come across, I'm able to see through it. And it's not like it happens instantly. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's super difficult. Sometimes it's really confusing and upsetting, as I'm sure a lot of us have been really upset and really confused around all of it. And what I've come to really embrace is this, that if you believe that only love is real, even just for a split second, what happens is that you deny the opposite of love, which is fear. You deny that power over you. Does that make sense? You can give me some like heads up and things. And that's really what this has become about for me. If A Course in Miracles is your book, you'll know it. It's a really beautiful metaphysical text. It was channeled in the 70s. There's a great story about it. And as we continue to go deep together, I trust, we're going to break down a lot of the elements in the Course in Miracles. But that's really the essence of the teaching, is that only love is real and that fear is an illusion. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Well, then the question is, well, then what is all this fear? Because it actually feels real to me, doesn't it? We've all had fears around finances this year. We've had fears around everything, around our security, our homes, where we're going to live. Everything has changed. But if we look at fear and we say, okay, I can get this at least intellectually, that fear is an illusion. What do I do then with the fear that I see in the world? And what we learn is that if we bring the fear forward, if we stop protecting it, we can dissolve its power, because we looked at it. We looked at it with loving eyes. Does that make sense? we need to look at the fear. And I've been talking about this for my entire career, since back then with Larry, and I told you that story about him. I had to look at my fear. I had to look at, why am I afraid that my parents will disown me? Why am I making decisions in my life because of what others think about me? Well, those are the programs, aren't they? And those are the programs that we've learned, we've been dialed into since the moment that we arrived. That's what happened. And so all of this curriculum that we've created in the last year and a half, 2 years. So we have a program called Yoga Off the Mat Coaching, which is basically 6 tools that help us and that support us and that teach us literally how to move from fear consciousness to love consciousness. That's their purpose. That's their function. And instead of having everybody pay thousands and thousands of dollars, some of you here have done that. You've paid thousands of dollars to be in this. And I'm going to figure out how to support you. Maybe it's with some private coaching or something like that for those of you who have invested financially. But what I really feel guided to do is to just put it out there and trust that if you're guided to the information, if you're guided to the content, that it will serve you. And if it does, you can contribute. And if it does, and if you can't, then that's fine too. It's really important that you take care of yourselves right now. And that's what I want to do in terms of generosity. I'm learning so much about generosity, and generosity is one of the qualities of God's teachers that we learn from A Course in Miracles. And basically it teaches us that generosity is actually the opposite of what we think it is. It's the exact opposite, which is what we've learned, a lot of us down the rabbit hole, that everything we thought to be true was actually make-believe. Thank you, Larry, from 2004 for saying that. Everything you think is true is actually make-believe. And the Course is very consistent with that as well. The Course of Miracles teaches that the world of illusions is 180 degrees away from reality of heaven on earth. And so your life is literally a journey back to heaven. And for me, one of the keys to get into heaven was to let go of the money, was to let go of that being what decided if you get to take my courses. I just was like, I just don't like that anymore. If people want this information, then you can have it. And that's what we're going to do. This has been a really big one for me. And I just want to give a little context also as to how I came here, and a lot of kudos and gratitude to each and every one of you for being inspired by me, not really me, but by the spirit that works through me, by the work that I've been able to do on myself in terms of shifting from fear to love. But for me, a big game changer was coming in touch with the work of Charlie Freak. And I know a lot of you have found me through his work. And after that first live show that we did with Santos Bonacci, they left me an amazing WhatsApp message, like amazing. I've listened to it like 100 times because it's been very inspiring for me. Because what happened is that my community, when I started speaking out about this, I really started in March, but I came out like sincerely with a bang in early November. But the community that we had built all of these years really didn't like what I had to say, even though from my perspective, it was pretty consistent with what we had been studying all these years, right? Fear is an illusion. We need to deny its power over us. We need to be leaders. We need to be God's teachers. We need to teach only love, all of that. So for me, it was all consistent. And I've actually gone back and like studied some of the early talks. And I'm like, wow, Marie, you've been doing the same thing. You just took it to the next level. And the reason that we took it to the next level was because of the world. I mean, we've all seen things happen this year that have been very just upsetting and really transformational. And they've really invited us to like step out of it and to go deeper. And so we've been talking about all of this. But as you all know, I'm sure that, not everybody's in agreement around a lot of the things. And that's okay, right? That's part of it. But at the same time, what I've found is that when there's a money exchange, there is an imprisonment. And that's what I want to step out of. It's like, I give you money, so therefore I think that I get to tell you what to say and what to do and what's appropriate for you as a yoga teacher and what's not appropriate for you as a yoga teacher. And that's what I experienced. And so when all of this started happening with Charlie and Colleen, I was like, guys, like my entire business is falling apart. And they were like, great. That's great. Let it go. And I was like, oh my God, here I am again at 24 years old, like having this moment of like, everything I think is make believe. I think I need to charge for my courses to support my family. And honestly, what happened is that I started charging a lot of money for courses, a lot of money for courses, like $5,000 for a 2-year program, like big money. And people invested. They were super excited to do so. They were planning their trips to Mexico in February. I was starting putting all the content together, really kind of excited. But I really have to say to you guys here now that I felt dis-ease. I felt uncomfortable. I wasn't truly aligned to it because I felt like I was constantly proving and trying to like provide more and give more and give more and more and more and more and more. But what I realized is that it was never enough. It was never enough because what $5,000 means to one person means something very different to somebody else. And so like I invested in a course last year that was about $5,000, and the person leading the course has said a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with, but I would never think that it was appropriate for me to call her up, tell her she was wrong and needed to give me my money back. Because that's just not how I'm structured, which is fine. You know, if that's what happened, a lot of people were like, well, wait a second, I don't want my yoga teacher to talk about trafficking. I don't want her to do that. I don't want to talk about that. You're super brave, Marie, but can I have my money back? So I was like, all right, this is a really big one, Charlie and Colleen. Like, I really need to sort this out because the feeling, like literally, I just want to share with you guys. And I know that we've all had these like the despair of being disliked by my community. Like the judgment I received, like, oh my God, like really, you think I've been brainwashed? Like, you guys, I'm the lighthouse here. Like, you've been calling me the lighthouse all of these years. I'm telling you, we need to go through this portal. And I will absolutely say to you, it is a portal. And I went through it on the 21st, and I know a lot of you guys did too. It was no joke. It was beautiful. It was empowering. It was wow, 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 wow. Like, wow, we went through it. And I had the privilege of being with people like Siobhan, I see you here. I love you so much. And Charlie Freak and Colleen and Galactic Greg and like all of these new friends. Lana, thank you for being here. My Course in Miracles sister. You guys check her out. She's doing a channel too. You know, all of us just want to share what we love. It's never, ever, ever for a moment been about the money. The intention was to share our gifts and talents, but we've all been roped into this. We've all been roped into, well, okay, Marie, well, how am I going to pay my bills? And then you go, well, what are my bills? And what can I start to let go of? Right? And then you just start letting go of more and more and more until you realize that you actually didn't need as much as you thought you did. What you really needed was to be safe and was to be heard and was to be nurtured. And so basically with all of the people that were upset and wanted their money back, you know, from the programs that they've invested in, from the ones that they've received a lot from. I mean, we're talking, the work that we do is very, very deep. And I know that some of you guys that are in it can attest to, like, this is very, very deep work. It's not a joke. We're going into your core beliefs. We're going into those first 7 years of your life. What happened to you those first 7 years? A lot of us had a lot of stuff that was not good in those first 7 years. So we're going deep. And what we're doing is we're taking those preserved fears. We're taking all of the things that we didn't understand as children. I have small children, so it's such a privilege to see now, you know, this play out with them and to try and do so many things the opposite, you know, of the way that it was for me. But the bottom line is that that's what we're up to in these communities. We are here for the healing of the world. The Course teaches us that God's plan for the salvation of the world is you. That's the plan. You, me. Lana, Siobhan, Charlie Freak,
No.
Mary Fox, all of us. You are the
Magdalena.
yeah.
Magdalena.
You are the plan. And the way that you demonstrate that you get that is by allowing God, by whatever name you call it, does not matter. I think all of us have established this at that point. Like, you don't get all weird about what we call God. But listen, God needs your hands, needs your feet. Can I ask you guys just to mute yourselves? I'm going to open it up soon so that you guys can talk with me a little bit. But that's the point. God needs your hands. God needs your feet. God needs your mouth. Every day it becomes about waking up and saying, what would you have me do today? These are prayers from A Course in Miracles. What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? Where would you have me go? It becomes that level of surrender. And this insight through Charlie and Colleen, and I'm going to be on one of their shows, and we're going to go deep into money. We're going to go deep into the system of money, all of that in the upcoming weeks. But what I really felt guided to do was just, I needed to be free myself. I needed to free myself from worrying about who's going to sign up for the courses. And even with some of you here, like I've written to you about my courses, and I was always like, God, this just doesn't feel right. I don't want to use this time because I know you need what I have. I know that I need what I have. And that's how I'm going to receive all of the gifts that God has for me, is just in giving them to you and being there for you 100%. And one of the things I also want to do is set up like a day or a few hours in my week every week where if you want to do privates, like we could do privates. And if you want to pay something, then pay something. And if you don't, that's fine too. It can't be about that. It literally cannot be about that in the new world. Well, let me correct myself, in the new earth, because the world as we know it is falling apart. And as Josh X, some of you know his work, he's so brilliant, my God. And we're going to have him on the shows too, starting in January, February. So I'm going to bring you so many people together, and we're going to have heartfelt conversations. And that's what this is about. And Josh X says there's the world and there's the earth. And I certainly, I mean, I got my feet on the earth. I spend a significant amount of my time in nature. I've got hummingbirds right outside my window right now, like amazing, amazing, amazing nature. And the earth is about service. And heaven is a place where we're not suffering, right? That's what heaven is. Heaven is knowing we're one with our Creator and knowing that our Creator provides everything for us. So there's no need for us to get all bent out of shape and to get all worried about this. And all of us are going to have varying levels of detaching from the world as we step more and more into the earth. But what some of us are saying here is that we're ahead in the timeline. Maybe ahead's not the right word. I feel before in the timeline. I feel like I can actually see that I don't want to pay. I mean, I was paying $5,000 a month, just FYI, to have a team in place. And it is a lot of work to show up for the team, you know, and half of my team doesn't even know I'm doing this, because basically I said to everybody, look, guys, I need to really look at why I'm doing online business. Why am I? Because so many people, like if I have a course, and just, you know, for some money fun, if I have a course that I'm selling for $5,000 and 10 people show up, how much money is that? $50,000. Is that you, Cheryl? Shelly, my 17-year-old angel. I'm going to bring you on.
Hi.
Hey, say something to these people. How are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
This little lady invited me onto her Instagram channel a few weeks ago, and we talked about a lot of these things. She shared her testimony on vaccines and some of the things that she had experienced, and I gave a little riff on some of the things I'd been learning, and it was taken down immediately.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was kind of crazy, but we just got to keep going.
Yeah. We just keep going, and we
sure.
start asking, like, why are they taking things down, and who is taking things down, and why do they get to take things down? They should spend their time proving all of us conspiracy theorists are wrong.
They
should
know
do
we're
that
right.
rather
That's
than
why
taking
they're
down our
taking it
content.
down. That's why they're taking it down, because they know that we're right.
You're such an angel. I love you for saying that. But yeah, this is what this is about from now on, guys. You know, the incentive and the excitement around actually manifesting $50,000 doing what I love isn't doing it for me anymore. And that's really where I'm at. I just want to share with you what I have and go with it like that, just really simply. And there will be like a link, like, you know, kind of going back to basics, which was like the exact opposite of how I've been trained all of these years, right? Well, you've got to value yourself, Marie. And it was like, yeah, but this is not my information. This is God's. And this is why I think I never really was able to make it, you know, in the online business world. I mean, I've made money. I've made some good money. I've spent all of it because that's how I am. But it was like, this is God's information. And I think that's why this happened, because I really needed to learn this lesson of trusting that God would provide. And, you know, and that's what this is about. And I'm super, super excited to have you all here. And let me just check one thing, see who's coming. I need to send the link. Hold on one second. Just stay with me for 1 second, friends. Oh. Participants, stay with me. Does anybody have any comments or questions before I continue? Let me see. Just 1 second. Okay. There it is. I'm going to invite Charlie in here for a second. Was the Insta Live they took down? Let me see. It was about vaccines. It was about the virus.
Everything.
Yeah, it was about stuff that, you know, we're not supposed to be talking about because we're yoga teachers. And Shelley's a yoga teacher too. She teaches Kundalini yoga, and she's 17 and she's brilliant, and she's a dancer, and she's a powerhouse. And we're going to do a Zoom call soon for the YouTube channels, and that's what you're going to see a lot of us doing. We're just going to put our content out there because it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. And you know, yes, there are millions of dollars to be made by all of it. But at this point, I mean, I am so blessed, you guys. I have such a beautiful life. Like, oh my God, like seriously. And I cannot wait. Everything that's ever donated through any of these portals is going to buying property, buying land, and building a beautiful place for all of us to just come and heal and drink orange juice and relax and listen to Siobhan sing beautiful songs and, you know, just chill out. That's what I want for all of us. I think it's so important that we allow ourselves the gift of being the sons and daughters of the divine, which is we're supported. And it's not about all of the other things. So that's what I'm saying. Any other comments or questions before I continue?
Marie, I was just going to say, can you hear me okay? Hi, everybody. So I first knew of you, Marie, just from watching Charlie Freak, who I adore. And I just wanted to say, like, thank you so much for bringing this group together. And even what you're talking about right now, like right before you started to say about buying the land and the orange juice, I was thinking about how valuable creating community is and being a leader like you are right now to bring these people of like mind together. Because I think what has really happened, my story is very similar to yours. I'm a yoga teacher as well. And my community fell apart because my beliefs, you know, are very aligned with like what yours are, I believe. And that made a lot of people fall away. It made me feel very removed from any sense of community whatsoever, even in terms of family, friends, the number of people just through this past 10 months who have fallen away, who I thought were my tribe. Like I thought they were my people, and not so. But anyway, so at least not in that way. That, you know, it was interesting that the people who I believed were all like, namaste, we love each other, like all one, were like, oh, you believe that, forget it, go away. And so this idea of community and just providing a platform where, I mean, maybe not everyone's going to align with it. Maybe it's not going to resonate with everybody, but having a place to fall for the people who do feel this way is like the most valuable thing, I think, that anybody can do, is create community and to have those conversations. Like I spend the majority of my day feeling connected nowadays by listening to Charlie Freak's show, by listening to like a certain number of people.
Nicole, I love you so much. I'm going to invite Charlie Freak in right now. Is that okay?
Yay, that's awesome. Perfect. Thank you
A little
so much
gift
again.
for you guys. I just want to bring him in because he's so wonderful. Hold on. And you guys, you know what's crazy is that, let me see if he comes in here. Nicole, I'm coming back to you after this. Let me see. Charlie, where are you? Are we here? Hi, Charlie. Yay, I got you both.
Hola.
Ooh, can everybody make sure that you mute yourself? Let's see if we can't get our volume. Everybody make sure you mute yourself. And I'll mute myself. Are we good?
We're good here.
Hi, Colleen. Hi, Charlie. Hi, guys.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. I see Justin, Jess, and wow, so wonderful. Jeanette, everyone. This is so what a community. A beautiful community. Wow. We're all family. We're brothers. We truly are.
Thank you. You guys.
Wow, the show.
What's the show? So Charlie, I was just telling all of these beautiful souls how much I love you guys and how much you've inspired me to make some really big changes in my life. And Charlie looks a lot like Larry Schultz, you guys. So if anybody wondered what my first beautiful yoga teacher and partner looks like, you look similar to Charlie. Charlie's a little bit more enlightened, I would say. Because of the diet and all of the things. And your knowledge, Charlie, just has inspired me so much because as a student of A Course in Miracles, you know, it's one interpretation of the universal curriculum, which is love. And that's what you teach. And your understanding of all of the holy books and all of the ancient wisdom and the way that you and Colleen put it together with symbology and numerology, all of that has literally changed my life in the best way possible. Even though so much has happened and by, you know, the world standards, it might look like her life is falling apart. She's going out of business. You know, all her friends don't like her anymore. Everybody's asking her for money. And, you know, all of that is kind of true on one hand, but on the other hand, wow, did the miracles start to occur so much more naturally when I took this final step and really looked at what it would be to master the art, like you said, of generosity by just giving and then receiving as it goes and trusting that God always provides. So anything that you want to share, you guys, on generosity with this beautiful group, we're so open and we love you both so much.
Thank you very much for those beautiful and kind words. And hello, everyone. It is a pleasure and a be here. Yeah, we've been a lot of our tribe within the community with the courage and the strength and the gnosis to busyness, because when
I think we're gonna have to take off your picture because the internet, you know how they are with the internet. We'd love to see your faces, but the sound is funny. Okay, let's try that.
Okay, are we sounding okay now? The sound. Iffy.
Iffy, but let's see. We'll give it a few more minutes.
Well, if it doesn't get better, then you just jump over to oh, it's got yeah. So we've been reaching out to all of our tribe. We've been encouraging everyone to take this leap of faith, which is just to trusting God 100% completely and give of themselves, because the art of receiving is to learn giving. And all the mirror image of us, and the mirror image is God. And what do we see in a dog's eyes? We see living in the moment, and they love you regardless of their do. So that is without being concerned. So it's selflessness, which is righteousness. And so this is the path that Colleen and I, and you know, ultimately, you know, we were kicking around the truth community for a while we were writing all of these books, and just looking around and not seeing a lot of virtue. It surprises us a lot, because if speaking the truth, the very first thing that comes out of truth is virtue, because the truth is God's providence, and God is virtue, which is righteousness. So it just seemed to us that people alter, and so what we're trying to provide, no, you're going to need whole truth, the truth, and slowly we with people that we feel like represent our family. So in one, what we want to do with Freak Sense TV is use a lot of it to exalt Marie and Dan, to exalt Galactic Greg, to exalt Siobhan, to exalt Madonna, and just caring, passion, loving people want to be able to use whatever we have to put into a much larger position. And what we do is create a weekly roundtable, and we'll just invite a mirage of various guests, and we'll just speak as family about the truth on a variety of subjects. That way we'll just continue to give more and more focus to those in our tribe, those in our family, us on Colleen and I, in ourselves, which would be really. Oh, President Trump, you could say a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, I could speed things up.
It's a little bit,
you know,
cutting out.
I
don't know. It's really cutting out, Charlie. We had you there for a second, and then it came back out again.
Well, you just go back over to some other guests, and we'll just see if our signal clears up.
Okay. So guys, that's Charlie. I trust that you got a few of his words going on in there, Colleen. And I really just wanted to bring them on just so you could have a sense of who they are, and because they've influenced my life so much. And, you know, as someone who's mentoring and teaching a lot of you guys, you know, and who will be, I just want you to know where I'm coming from. And that's one of the things I think that happened with my old community. I think they were just really surprised that I was open to some of the things that Charlie was saying. And it's not always easy to like hear what he's saying. And a lot of it I sincerely did not like and resisted for a very long time. And that was okay too, you know, and I think that that's what we learned through this practice, that what we really need more than anything is a willingness to see things differently. And so that's what the Course in Miracles taught me. It's like, let's just be willing to see things differently. So if I'm willing to see the light in my brothers and sisters, then that's enough. I will see the light. That's how it works. But if you're not willing to see it, then you're not going to see it. And so, you know, a lot of Charlie's info is next level. Yeah, it's next level. It's way like, wow. And like I said in the beginning, that it really, you know, I have a great understanding of A Course in Miracles. I have some Bible understanding and capacity to share. But these guys are really, they're pulling from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Upanishads, from the Quran, like all of the holy text, and the ancient wisdom is just immense. And that's what's inspiring. And another piece has been the diet that really catapulted me into next level living as well. And yes, there's some political stuff that he shares, and yes, it's controversial, and you know, take it or leave it. But the bottom line for me is that, like I shared earlier, God's plan for the salvation of the world, that's what the Course says, is you and me and all of us waking up to our divine potential and living from that place. That's what this is about. That's what life is all about. It's a lesson after lesson after lesson. Each person that comes into your life is an assignment. You know, everything is about you realizing that you can choose fear or you can choose love, but you're the one at choice. And so all of the work that we do in our programs is just giving you tools and support and love and content so that you can walk that journey. It's not always easy. In fact, I would say at first, you know, it seems like things are getting worse. And that's true because you become aware of how far gone you are in many ways, you know, and a lot of us, that's just the willingness to accept, you know what, I don't know. I might not be 100% correct on this or that. But that's what this is about. It's about being willing, and it's about having a community, and it's about having support, and it's about being free from all of us being imprisoned and thinking that because we paid for something that we've got some say around it, you know, and that's what I want to step out of. You know, it's like, how many times have you gone to a restaurant and ordered a meal and it was gross and you paid for it and you left anyway? You know, you just didn't want to cause the issue. And some people won't. Some people be like, hey, this was not this, and they're going to fight about it. I don't want to fight anymore about any of it. I don't want to fight. I just want to say, look, this is what I'm up to. I love Charlie Freak. A lot of people say whatever they want about Charlie Freak and Colleen. I think the main bit that I love so much about them, and one of the main plugs, was their love of Steely Dan. You guys know Steely Dan? Siobhan, we talked about this in the solstice party. Like, oh my gosh, like if you love Steely Dan, go listen to the decodings that they have on Freak Sense TV. Like, they're amazing. It's all amazing, guys, and it's all happening right now. Like, we are literally learning how to live our divine selves. And it's like, I was sitting on the beach yesterday getting so activated. Like, I mean, the sounds, the whales, it's so immense. Nature. God is so good, you guys. And that's what I want for all of us. I want us to step through these portals, let go of our fears, and step more and more into the truth of who we really are. And I am 100% committed to that. If you like my content, great. And if you don't, that's fine too. I'm over it. And I feel so good about that. I can't even tell you. I was telling some of my Puerto friends, I see some of you here. I won't call you out just yet. But soon I'm going to have all of these people on our shows and in our circles. We call these circles or gatherings. And that's what this is going to be about. You're going to hear from different people around all sorts of content, all sorts of ways that we can access our inner knowing, our inner truth. Let's see, Charlie's coming back in. And it's all good, guys. I just want everybody to relax. I really do. Like, I just want to snug everybody in. I just want to say, guys, like, God already won. And that's another thing you learn from A Course in Miracles, that the light has never changed. Heaven has never changed. No matter how dark this world is and how dark it's gone, love is all that's real. And I'll leave you with this. All that's really happening, guys, is that more and more of us, instead of just obsessing about light and love and it's all good and all of that, are actually saying, okay, yes, it is all light. Heaven is real. God is love. But instead of just looking at that, we're actually turning our backs to it. And stay with me. As we turn our backs to the light, to the love, what does that mean? That means all of the past, all of the darkness within ourselves can fall away because we've surrendered it to the divine. And that means we become transparent, literally. You become light. You just get transparent. And what can happen is that God can move through you further and further into the darkness that has a grip on our world. And that's what's happening. We're like, guys, that's gross. The Course would say there's only so far you can go out of bounds. And we're there. We're there. And those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. We're there. We're so far out of bounds. It's so unacceptable what's happening on our planet. So then what? So we just say that's the way the world is? No. We, like Jen McCarthy, who I'm going to have at some point on, she's amazing, from England, was talking on Charlie's show on the Divine Feminine, how we're pulling the weeds. We're literally pulling the weeds, and we're the ones that must do that. We're the ones, because we've been so gifted. We really have, each and every one of you. If you're sitting here right now, you've got to focus on your gifts and put all of your energy now towards service. And that's what I'm feeling more than ever, that we need to go, we need to extend the love further and further out, so that's all that is. Good? All right, good. I love you guys. And my Puerto friends are amazing. And you guys, when you come down to Mexico, you're gonna love it. We're gonna have so much fun, I promise you. It's gonna be so much fun. And it's all gonna be for free. How about that? It's all gonna be for free. I don't want your money. If you want to give it to us, great. If you don't, that's fine too. I want it to be because you just want to heal. And just know that there's nothing really to heal. You're just making yourself whole again. That's what healing is. You're just removing all of these barriers to love's presence, all of the judgments you have about yourself, to others. All of that is going to just fall away. Why? Because it's not yours. It's fear. It's false. It was given to you. You took it before you even knew. And now you know, which is great. Because if you know, you can let it go. If you don't know, you're subject to it. And that's what this is about. This is knowing as much as you can about yourself, about others, about all of it, so that you can choose love again and again and again, every moment of every day. And then what happens is that you just land in it. And I'm telling you, this is what's happening to me. Not all the time, I still have my moments, but really for major stretches of the day, we're in the light, we're in the love. It's beautiful. And that's what I want for all of us. That's what all of you deserve. That's what you should expect. We're so used to taking the crumbs. And that's not what this is about. You're holy. You are holy divine beings of light. And all you need to do to access that is to say that. And that's what the Course in Miracles is great at, because it gives you lessons every day. Every day you're like, I don't know what anything is for. I don't know what that table is for. You rework your mind. The first 6 months are about untangling you from the thought systems of fear. And then you reestablish yourself in the thought systems of love. So that's what this is about. And you could take it or leave it. You can still join the courses if you don't like the Course of Miracles too. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let me see. All right. Before I have Siobhan come in here and sing a song, do we have any other comments or questions?
Hey, Jen, can you hear us okay? Can you hear us okay right now?
Yes. Where are you?
Can you hear us okay?
I can. I can't see you.
Okay, good. Just a really key point here for everyone to really wrap their minds around. They use the word holy so much, and that's because they're full of holes, and that's because they're full of shit. And you don't want to be holy. What you want to be is hallowed, because all of this is hallowed ground. The earth, she is sacred, and she's been hallowed because she has been made by the Father. The Father and the Mother are one, just as we, the child, are one with the Father and the Mother. It's all about the Trinity, which is then the unity of consciousness. We are the family, and we become one. So hallowed comes from halo, and halo actually means holy. They've changed, everybody knew this, go back 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 50, 100,000 years ago, because they're lying to you about this linear time crap and how long things have been around. We've been around forever, because there's nothing new under the sun. When God created all of this in 6 of his days and took the Saturn day, to have a nice little rest and take a look at his grand creation on the 7th day. This is how we're supposed to live every single freaking week of our life. The whole point is that you start on Sunday. Your entire body is made up of circadian rhythms, and they are secreting everything you need for these days. So the start of the week is Sunday. That's not the day you go to church. Sunday is the spark plug. God's injecting the fuel, and you go, because you need to get the bulk of work done by the hump day, which is Wednesday. So it's all downhill from there, because you have to be done by Friday so that you can rest upon your creation. See, we are the children of God. We are one with God. This is unity consciousness. So therefore, God made us in his own image. So therefore, his journey and his creation has to become our journey and our creation. So we rest on the 7th day. The 7th day is Sabbath, and that is where Sabbath, the Sabbath day, comes from, is Sabbath. And Sabbath means 7, which is Saturn day. You have 7 layers of heavenly energy above you. Jupiter is the 6, Saturn is the 7th day, and that is your crown. And so during the week, you create, you build for your crown. And then from upon high, in sheer stillness and silence, you give back. And this is the day to give back to the Father and to connect with the Father. And then, of course, he gives everything back to you. So this is the thing. We've been told to look out there. Look out there. Listen to them. There's football. There's football on Sundays, and I got a favorite team, and they got to win, and if they don't win, I'm going to kill everyone and maybe bomb some places or whatever it is, because they got to win. And that's just silliness. In fact, moving forward, we have to get rid of professional sports. That's, again, Kevin Costner's movie, A Field of Dreams. Why Shoeless Joe Jackson? Why did they bring that aspect into it? Because baseball is a game of alchemy. It's an alchemical game being played in the physical. But the whole point of baseball, literally, I'm not kidding you, Abner Doubleday created an alchemical game in the physical realm. The whole idea is to stay on the base path in the infield, go around the diamond and come back home. Yeah, the home plate. That's where you go. And there are 9 innings. You know, it's just the whole thing about baseball is beautiful. It's just about the journey to God. That's why they used it as an allegory, as a vehicle. And in that, Shoeless Joe Jackson says originally when he came back and he was just touching the grass and he was smelling his glove and he was just looking at the ballpark, and he said, the diamond. And he said, I'd have played for food money. And then about a minute later, he said, shoot, I'd have played for nothing. And if people want to play sports, I have no problem with that. I think they should. If that's their passion in life, they should give of themselves to others, and they play for free. And if you want to donate, services or give love and anything else, you can do that, but it needs to be on a voluntary basis. We can't be paying professional athletes $100 million. Again, what's one of the other baseball movies that Kevin Costner did, right at sort of the end of his big run of movies and stuff, that was for the love of the game, right? And in that one, he throws a perfect game. There's 0 mistakes. It's a perfect game. Why? Because he was in meditation the entire game. He didn't even realize really what he was doing. He didn't realize that he had a perfect game going until the 8th inning. He was just so deeply within himself. Okay. And then in the 9th inning, before he goes out there, he says, take this to the owner's kid and tell them I'm done. And it says, I'm done for the love of the game, because they've taken God's pastoral game of love and passion and purity, and they've turned it into a busyness. You don't want to create a busyness, or you will surely know pain and suffering in your life. If you have a balance sheet and credits and debits, you're going to lose. You're going to lose because it's the wrong way. What God says is simply trust him, and ye shall have the abundance of his grace, which is everything. And all you have to do is let go. So when Jesus says in the Bible so many times, take no thought for your life, that's what this is all about. It's what this is all about. It's what this is all about. Stop thinking that you're smart. Stop thinking that you're a genius liberal intellect and you've read all of these books. Books by whom? People on the New York Times bestsellers list? That's a freaking cabal. They say that they've sold 12 million copies because they're lying to you. And the great books that should have sold 12 million copies, they don't get published because they don't want you having the truth. So they publish the lies, they hide the truth, and then we start thinking based upon lies. So how do we, what is Marie talking about? Where do we go from here? President Trump is giving this chance. That's all. This is just a chance to get things right. And what I always say is that this is that chance to cast thy net to the right. Cast thy net to the right. And casting of the net to the right means that you are trusting 100% in God, that he will think for you via intuition and telepathy. That is faster than the speed of light. There's no speed of light. There's no such thing as the speed of light. It just is. It just is. And it's there and it's not there. And that's just the way it is of creation. There's no speed of light. Everything is here and now. That's what God is. We're going to go into the God room in just a second here, and I'm going to show you again because he's very kind. He allows me to drop in. So let's take a quick look. 3, 2, 1. And I guarantee you that's what God is. In every single moment, he is in constant meditation because all of this is the eternal now of God's creation. This is a single thought within his mind. And all of this plays out right now. There's no such thing as past. There's no future coming for you. That's why when people, the literist Christians, when they say, Jesus is going to be riding on a white horse, the white horse is in you. That's the hippocampus. That's all part of this magical mind that's right here, the sphenoid bone, right? How many of you know what the sphenoid bone is? That is flat Earth, right? Oh, I don't think so, Charlie. I think the world is round. No, your head is round. That's what's round, and inside is flat Earth. And the sphenoid bone is a flat plane that goes all around the perimeter of your skull, okay? And if you take a look at this for a sec, what's above that? There's a dome. See, this is Dominion software. This is the Dominion of Canada and Australia, right? The Queensland's Dominion, because this is the crown. That's why we're called crown corporations and crown lands and stuff, because they're claiming dominion over you. That's why we stand and overstand and never stop using the word understand. You're a victim when you use the word understand. If you know completely what is being said, then you understand. When you master it, you overstand, but you never understand anyone but God. So when someone of the government or the police or a judge, you understand me? How are you doing today? You look a little stressed. Would you like to talk? I would love to hear from you and what's going on in your life. No, I want some identification. So honestly, are you getting enough sun? Because I don't think you're getting enough sun. And you never answer their questions, because if you answer their questions, you're standing under their authority. It's all a game. They need you to consent to their will. It's a trick. That's why police officers will say, do you understand me? The moment you say yes, you have said, I consent to your will. They have no power over you. There's no one in government that has any power over you, because they all took oaths and they all serve to protect you. So let me give you one last little bit. We'll go over to Marie here. How is President Trump doing all of this? How is he getting away with all of this? And how, because I'm going to show you in a huge podcast that's coming through Mark Devlin in the next few days, how this was all done ahead of time, even before he was president in the White House. How did they do all? because they all swore oaths. And when you break oath, that's treason. And it's treason to the country that you swore the oath to. It's treason to the people that you swore the oath to, and it's treasonous to God if your hand is on the Bible when you swear your oath. And so that is the law that Trump used to be able to take down not only the demons in America, but all across this earth. So they swore an oath to serve us. And when they don't serve us, then they have to be taken away. And then they need to reflect upon themselves. And if that's in a cell, then they'll find God, because God will come to them in that alone moment. But we do not hand over our power to anyone else, because you are God's child and you are these days of the week, and you have to start living your life exactly how God created this creation, because you are the child of all creation. So what Marie's talking about here is again, taking no thought of her own mind and saying that I'm going to share what I have learned with you for free, and I'm going to trust that whatever I need to be able to do the things that I want to do in life will be provided freely and naturally. Freedom, the Father; natural, the Mother. And you are the child, and that's the Holy Trinity. And that's what we have to come to. So thanks I wanted to get that in before the internet signal went away, but thanks for your patience in listening to that. But this is serious stuff, and it all comes back to hallowed, not holy. They're lying to you once again. You are a temple. You have a temple of the body and a temple of the mind. You have to treat your body and your mind as hallowed temples, because you wear a halo that is your crown, and that is the golden essence of you, because you're a Taurus field. You are, by the way, you are the Bible, because you are the double sine wave. You are the two bulls, and the lower part of you is the Old Testament, and this is Jesus Christ in the New Testament. I guarantee you, everything that Jesus is saying and doing in the Bible happened right here above the sphenoid bone on this magical middle flat plane. It's just incredible.
Here I am. Every time I hear you speak, I just feel so, it's like a wave. It's like a wave. Like sometimes I just find myself like in another reality or something. But I really love to hear you speak and how you just play all of that together. And it's just brilliant, all of it. And we're so grateful for you guys, because in many ways, you're leaders of mankind, which is what this is about. You're teaching us how to be kind again, and you're showing us what it is to have, righteous anger, what it is to show up, what it is to walk the walk. And that's really important that we relearn how to do that, because we don't know how to do that anymore. And we're so, we're just so messed up. We're so confused in between our temples. And so much of what you teach is about learning how to stay in God consciousness, and how to decalcify our third eye, and how we can actually be the children of God that we were designed to be. So thank you for that. I see
to add something really quick.
Yes. Who's this?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm a big fan of you, Charlie. Yeah, I just really wanted to add something. That was amazing what you were talking about. Oh my gosh, about the 9 holes. And yeah, we are all children of God, and we just have to learn to accept that. Like, sometimes people don't realize it, but we are all children of God. So yeah, I really enjoyed what you guys were saying. Really resonated with me.
Thank you, Shelly. Shelly wants to talk to you at some point too, Charlie. She's got a channel. Her and I did a little talk, I said earlier, and we got taken down off Instagram because we said things, that we're not supposed to say.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So anyway, she's in our community too. She's a part of our family, our little sister, 17-year-old genius. She's so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you guys for that. Siobhan, do you guys want to stick around, Charlie and Colleen, for a song? Siobhan is here. I think it would be a great time to hear some music. And Siobhan, maybe you just tell us a little bit,
Sorry.
Say hi if you want first.
easier because I have to try and get different places to do this, the little streams from. But anyway, yes, thank you so much for having me, Marie. Yeah, I mean, for me, okay, I'm just going to tell people who I am. I'm from Limerick in Ireland and moved over to the States about 3.5 years ago on an artist visa as a singer-songwriter to try and find my audience. And that's kind of why I'm here. And came across Charlie through the whole COVID narcolepsy. And yeah, so the whole truth community has been amazing, but the only one that I just keep coming back to is Charlie and Colleen, because it's the one that just really resonates with me. And they talk about it's the truth when it resonates with you, and I do, but my problem was, how in the am I going to get other people to think this? But that's not my job. I finally let go of that. And, I like, we're all in the same boat, I think, when we say, we don't have, our friends don't agree with what we're listening to, our families don't agree with what we're listening to, with some of it and not other parts. And it can be a very, very lonely place, yeah. But, I think through all of this community, we're getting stronger and braver and more courageous all the time. And, it's so great to have each other now, and we just need to power up and move forward as a big power ball. And I think that's just what we're able to do when we have each other, So funnily enough, I was going to do this song called Give Me Back the Love. And it's an old song, so Charlie, forgive me. I didn't understand back then that holy is now hallowed. So if I understand and try and say hallow instead of holy for this song, maybe we might get Charlie on board. It's kind of, me and Marie were talking about Joni Mitchell. She said, would we kind of decode some songs? And I was like, yeah, I do some Joni Mitchell songs, but this song I wrote musically as a kind of a nod to my influence of Joni Mitchell. So I hope it's early in the morning for me, so I hope it comes out okay. Can you hear properly? I wish I could have been a painter. I could write my feelings in color, 'cause right now I just can't write them out of my head. I rediscovered blue, then I started to love. I could feel the love coming, it was inside of me. You showed me a view of our city that I've never seen before. I didn't know our city could look so peaceful after dark. Spirit, make me holy. Spirit, make me love. Spirit, make me holy. Spirit, make me love. Give me back the love that I need to be strong. Give me back the love that I need to be strong. You sat up on your roof and watched the colors go by. Paint it if you liked, or remember it if you wanted to. Ooh. We watched the sky turn all its different blues. I said, don't close the curtains, it's a beautiful blue. He said you should see it in a little while. And I thanked you in my mind, 'cause you didn't know what I was renewing. You were taking me back to where I was. Well, I'll try and put hallow in instead of holy. Hey, Danny. Thank you, guys.
Look, Colleen, do you have anything you want to share? I need a second still.
Okay.
Honestly, every time I hear you sing, I cry, and it's not because I'm sad. It's just, it just touches me, and I'm like, ah, I'm a mess. It just, wow.
Well, you know what, Colleen, you've just made me so, I mean, thank you is what I mean to say, but Marie, Spirit, Siobhan, Tree of Life. Oh, wow. And there's the Kundalini rising too. Yeah, you know, I've been so many years of singing with nobody really getting what I'm saying. It's just such an honor and a privilege for me to be singing for people who actually know what I'm talking about. It's just amazing. So honestly, this I've come home. It's nice, you know, it's great.
And just really quickly for everyone, so what we're doing, helping Galactic Greg get his YouTube channel going and convince Greg to dive into this 100%. You don't have a busyness world job. Job in Latin means persecution. They've got you if you have a job. You got to get rid of your jobs and just trust that the money will flow to you, and it will, because that's abundance. So and we're doing that with Siobhan, we're doing that with Marie and Dan, we're doing that with Al Pasoni, and we're just telling all of them to just get away from these evil corporations, stop being a dead man walking, a dead woman walking, and become life. So the tree of life. And when you look at that, all of these key words that are being sung in the song, again, spirit, you see the S is the sine wave, okay? And that is the Kundalini rising, but it's not complete because you need to have its mate. So the Ida and the Pingala. And then when the double sine wave occurs, then that gives you a scalar wave, which is the eternal 8, and that is eternity. So when you meet, this is what, when you hear people in the spiritual community talking about, you know, soulmates and their spiritual mate, what they're talking about is the Shiva and the Shakti. Remember, Shiva was a nightmare disaster of a man because he went to Egypt and stayed in Egypt and he didn't come back. And it took Shakti to take him by the hand. Take me by the hand, Bodhisattva. Take me by the hand and lead me home. And that's what Shakti did. And she gave centering and balance to Shiva. And now Shiva is known as the man of man, because behind every great man is a great woman. And that is the double sine wave, which is the eternal 8. And by the way, again, that's magnetism, because what is magnetism? They're scalar waves, which are eternal, and they're the double S, the double sine wave. So you look at Marie and just look at the names here. So M-A is Ma for mother. R, it was the 18th letter in the alphabet. 18 is the chi or ki, which is the energy of life, and it's R for rising. So it's the mother rising in divinity. The I is 9, and 9 is divine. It's divine, man. It's T-H-E, vine. It's divine, because we're all vines and we have to grow ourselves up to heaven. So it's the mother rising in divinity in the ether. See the letter E? E is for ether, and that is what exists below the firmament, the dominion of the crown of your head. And so that's Marie. So incredible name, right? Mary, Marie is a variation of Mary. Siobhan is the sign, what a surprise, the sine wave rising in divinity. And then we have the O, and the O is the Ouroboros. And the Ouroboros is what you put in is what you get out. So if you put shit into your bodies, and if you take shitty breaths like they teach us to do, then you're full of shit. Because, and they're teaching you. So like, you know, you eat Fruit Loops for cereal with cow's milk, you're not going to raise to heaven. I guarantee you will not get to heaven with cow's milk and Fruit Loops. So you need to know who you are, which is a frugivore, and then do things naturally. But so the Ouroboros, and then you see it's Siobhan, but it's a B, B-H, And the BH is so key here to replace the V, because the B is the second letter of the alphabet, which is the mother, Mother Mary, Marie. But the H is the breath of God, which is eternity, which is eternal, and it's
Which
the
is what
spark
she
of life.
uses every time she sings.
Exactly. So you
Colleen.
see every voice, every breath you take,
Wow. Yeah.
every word you make.
Wow.
I'll be
That's
watching
really
you.
great,
I mean,
Charlie. And you know what's funny? My second name is Marie. I'm Siobhan Marie O'Brien.
wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So BH, that's the mother rising through the breath of God, mother, father, and then AN is the alpha, and then it's the rising, falling, but rising again. We have to get back up, and that's the eternal trier. And so that's what Siobhan is. She's had her ups and downs in life, but where is Siobhan right now? Exactly where she needs to be. And I just want to leave you with one really key thing, because we're at the Christmas season here, right? So it's Christmas time, and it's just stupid. It has no meaning. And then we have these stupid decorations. They have no meaning. And then we put them back in a box for the rest of the year. Stop it. They have the most profound of meanings. Do not put them back in the box. Leave them out all year, because Christmas time is every day of the year. That tree that you're looking at, the tree that you create, is you, because the tree of life is the tree of life within you. That's your spine. So let's take a look at here and see, that's your spine, and see, that's the brain stem, that part. See how amazing that is with the pine tree? Pine tree is a perfect pyramid.
Wow.
And then at the top, there's a little piece that always sticks up. It's amazing. It's the brain stem. There's your brain stem. There is your body. This is your spine. And then you see, that's your head. And you have to have a crown on your head. And then when you have a crown on your head, your whole body is lit up. See, I did little Christmas lights there. They're not very good, but I got little Christmas lights, because you're illuminated. I did that podcast about Steely Dan, Kid Charlemagne, all those day glow freaks who used to paint the face. They've joined the human race. All those day glow freaks who you know what day glow is? And like, they lied to you about the 60s and what these hippies, they were real, and they were all about God. They were all about the chrismal. They were all about going within. They were all about meditation. They were just so perfect. And then they gave you San Francisco hippies. And that's the lie. That's not the truth at all. And so this is what you're seeing. This is this journey. And by the way, the string of lights that goes around, that's your pneumogastric nerve. Not kidding you. That's your pneumogastric nerve that makes the tree of life within you. If you open yourself up and look inside, you will see basically this Christmas tree inside of you. And the pneumogastric nerve, pneumo for lungs, gastric for stomach, the nerve ganglion gets wider and wider the lower it goes. So you see it shapes out just like the Christmas tree. It's amazing. And guess what it's also called? It's called the vagus nerve. And vagus is vagabond, which is the wanderer, which is the prodigal son. So you see, it's us. This is us. This is us. And we must journey back up the Christmas tree of life by eating right and breathing right. That is life, right? Don't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's duality and that's sin. Just eat of the tree of life, which is righteousness. So that is just eat raw fruit. And that is just take these Buddha breaths, deep diaphragmatic breaths deep within you, and clean yourself out in every moment. And then you rise up to the brainstem, into the Golgotha, the place of the skull. And then you activate the pineal gland and all the magic occurs. So leave your Christmas decorations up, because they are teaching you and reminding you every single moment of your existence that this is real, and that you are real, and that the journey is within you, not without you. Throw out your TVs. If you watch a Freak Sense TV video, what's the first thing you see on our videos when they start? All the TVs being thrown out of the windows, even that little hut in Togo, bloop, and the one little TV gets pushed out of the hut. Throw your TVs out. The journey is within, not without.
Wow, guys, thank you so much. Wow. What a beautiful teaching on the Christmas tree. And, you know, it's so funny, Charlie, because my son in July pulled out the Christmas tree and was like insisting that we put up the Christmas tree in July. So we were like, okay, so we put the Christmas tree up, and then it kind of stayed up for a few months, and then we moved. So that was fine. But I think we might just keep it up because my kids love it. They just love like the lights on it all the time. So it's funny that that's what you're speaking to. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And so this is what I'm talking about, friends. I just want to be fully transparent. I really don't necessarily understand everything that I hear from these guys, but I know that it's the truth, and I love it. And I love that this time for me has been about learning. And I think that we should really desire that for each other, that we stay open to new teachings, and we just continue to learn and grow in the knowledge of who we really are as the divine, you know, beautiful creatures that we are. It's really inspiring. And for Siobhan, wow, you know, Joni Mitchell, it's wow. I mean, I just want you to sing to me all the time. It feels like the most beautiful gift to be like in the same space and time and to receive a song like that in the Zoom. I can't imagine what it's going to be like to be like with you sitting over there. I just am so excited for that day.
Well, yeah, no, it's what we're trying to say. Look, for me, I think in this context with this new movement going forwards, I think my songs are finally going to fit in.
Yeah,
so that's great. You know,
they are. That song was
yeah.
beautiful, and I remember, you know, being in my early 20s when I was, you know, doing all the things that one does in their early 20s, but like listening to Joni and just singing her music and really resonating with the freedom of expression that comes when we grow more and more into who we are. And so it's beautiful to hear you share and to let your voice come out like that, because I think that we're so taught to be quiet. At least I was, you know, just be quiet and don't come out of the mainstream. Like, you're not supposed to talk like that or sing that song or have deeper meanings. It's supposed to be, I mean, if you look at what's happened to the music industry, I was yelling about this years ago. Like, I don't want my nieces watching this. Like, what are they learning about the feminine? What are they learning about voice and about just how they take care of their bodies and all of that? So this is really, really, really a lot, if anything, about stepping away from what doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't.
I don't know whether I've been just lucky with the parents that I had or whatever, but you know, my father always encouraged us. It was kind of nearly like, at all costs, don't conform. So, you know, like that was a really good lesson to learn, and I think being a musician and knowing that I wanted to be a singer from 16, 17, 18 years of age, you're always on the periphery anyway. So maybe it's easier for me or whatever, I don't know. But like my friends that I grew up with, they still never ever got what I was writing about. And yeah, I'm just so thrilled that I'm finding my audience. It's great. Can't wait to do it in real and all around the campfire. It'll be great.
Yeah, totally.
I just want to say, Shelley, I am so delighted that there's a blinking 17-year-old out there that can get this, because this is really great. What are you saying, Charlie?
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. For a free PDF.
Yeah, we want that book
on Joni Mitchell's album, The Hissing of Summer Lawns. Yes, send us. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
She
we were
was
listening
way before her time. Wow.
She was way before time, and her music. Even yesterday, both of my children, like my children, love Steely Dan, Joni Mitchell, America. Like we're like in the car. We have a half-hour trip to our favorite beach, and Ruby's in the back going Deacon Blues. You know, jamming. It's adorable that they're like, that's their music they're listening to, and they love Joni. Like, we listened to the Taxi song and Big Yellow Taxi, and Ruby, like, for my 6-year-old to be hearing this woman's voice, and then we listened to it a couple times so she can get it, and then she just started singing it. She was just singing it with her voice out, and Danny and I were like crying. It was just like, this is like so amazing what's happening. But yeah, it's so beautiful. And, you know, we have another singer in the house. Let me see if she's still here. Is she still here? Yay, she is still here. Angelica, do you want to say hi?
Sure. Can you hear me? Okay, because I'm on my daughter's laptop and I cannot see anything. I don't have my glasses, so I'm hoping I'm on. How are you guys? I'm so happy to be seeing you all here. It's my first time that I'm invited in a video like this, and I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a bit starstruck. And I just wanted to say thank you. And you're all my favorites, of course. Charlie and Colleen, I watch your videos all the time, my husband and I, and our daughter too, our 17-year-old daughter. And Shelly, I'm really sorry. I just came in when you were singing and I immediately got tears in my eyes. I hope I got your name right.
Siobhan.
Siobhan, yes, I'm sorry. So I apologize for my awkwardness, but yeah, I'm a bit nervous and I'm just appreciating everything that's happening here.
Tell us about your book. Tell us about the children's book that you wrote. It's so beautiful. Tell us a little bit about that. Where people
Thank you.
Can find it.
Well, that's my profession is a singer, so I never in a million years that I dreamed that I would ever write a children's book. Although over the years, many people have been telling me you should sing children's song, you should go for Disney, you should go. It never really computed. So one day, just the story came to me. It's Love is Light, Transmute Fear into Love. And it's been, it didn't just come to me out of the blue. It was after a very, very long journey of living in extreme fear as a child, to the point where when I got in my early 30s, I was having panic attacks, like full-blown panic attacks, 2, 3, 4 days sometimes. They would last so long. And basically what I was afraid was the devil. Straight and simple. That's what I was afraid of. I grew up with the priest in the community talking about it more than talking about God. I'm Orthodox. Basically, the devil is always at your doorstep. You got to be vigilant of it. And I never really understood that, but it instilled fear in me. Then my parents had their own beliefs that they grew up with. So in a nutshell, I was terrified of this invisible thing, basically. And I started getting a lot of dreams and messages. And about 4 years ago, after about 6-7 weeks of, I felt what I felt, it was a divine intervention where I literally felt my heart being worked on. I had like a constant pain pressure for 6-7 weeks. Many people probably would have gone to the emergency with a heart attack, but I could tell it wasn't that. And basically this insane idea came to me. What if instead of fearing him, having compassion for him? And that's what started it for me. I went through this transformation where I literally, again, felt like my heart was being worked on. And at the end of those 6-7 weeks, I went on the street. It was raining. I couldn't take it anymore. And I just screamed, tell me what the F you want me to do. I feel so tormented. Tell me, what do you want me to do? And I heard the message, bring him home. No child of mine should be left behind. Help me make the all complete. And when I heard that, it's like, it sounded very, very insane, but I knew exactly what that meant. I knew what that meant. And the next day, the pain in my heart went away and the story came to me. And I just knew in that moment that that's what I have to do. I have to put this story out and help adults as well, but mainly help children not to grow up with fear and understand that, whatever we call it, the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call it, I am so convinced that it was given to us by God to understand love and to be able to choose love. It's if we didn't have opposites, free will wouldn't have no meaning. We have free will to choose between what we call good and bad and grow. And ever since, it's like my life changed in the last 4 years drastically. I have no fear of it, no fear whatsoever. I look at my life and I'm thinking, wow, I lived in so much darkness and it was such a lie. so the story is about this. It's and when it came to me with all the details, including the little, the gown, the dress. She's not a princess. I didn't want to make her a princess, the main character, Katrina. But it just came to me with all the colors, all the details. And again, I for about two years, I tried to find an illustrator and it didn't work out because I'm not an artist. And then this year with COVID, I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So I learned how to do illustrations and I did all the illustrations. And yeah, I'm waiting for my first run from the print in the new year.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We had a meeting with Angelica and her beautiful husband a couple weeks ago, and it was so inspiring to hear that story. And, just to echo what you were saying, my daughter, we had a film that we watched recently, like 20 minutes of it because it was so terrible. It was called The Polar Express. And I thought, oh, it's fun. It's about the Polar Express. We'll watch it, a little kids movie for Christmas. And it was so frightening. Like, my daughter, all of us were like, what is this? And I didn't realize it was Tom Hanks's voice until and I was like, blah! And so we turned it off. It was fine. But my daughter was really confused. And she was like, what? Like, why did the children leave their parents by themselves? I'm never leaving you, mommy. I was like, oh my God, sweetheart, you're never leaving. Don't worry. She's like, why did he take away all of their toys? Like, she was just so upset about it. It was just so obscene for her. She didn't register that. I was like, wow, that is designed. And I said it to her, that movie is designed to scare children, sweetheart. And I'm so sorry that we had that on today. Please forgive us and that, but it really is a problem. How we've been inundated and how we've accepted, because she didn't, we could say to her, this isn't real, but it was real to her. She could feel it. She didn't have that degree of separation that we get after 7. Like, she felt it was real. The fear was real for her. It was visceral. And so that is what, we're all healing from, essentially. And so your book, your story is beautiful. We'll make sure that I get the link, and I'm still sorting all the stuff for the YouTube, and you've just got to check it out. It's about 20 minutes, and your voice is so beautiful. And I'm just so excited about all that's going to come. And next time I'll give you more of a heads up, and you can maybe sing us a song. I won't throw it on you. We would be so honored to have that. And I really am inspired by Charlie and Colleen really giving me the, like, do that, just go and do it. And we got another art here. Father, mother, right is might, left is wrong. Yeah, there you go. There you go, from Mr. Freak himself, the one and only.
I love that.
I love that. So yeah, it's really beautiful. And just so you know, Charlie and Colleen, like, I left them a message last night at like 11:30. Like, this was just very much like, let's do this. So I feel really grateful that this is what we're talking about in terms of generosity of spirit. And the same thing with Angelica and Siobhan. It was like, hey guys, do you want to get together on Monday? I'm supposed to have a call with my group, and the group has been diminishing and diminishing the more I step more fully into my truth and attract such beautiful souls like yourself. I'm so grateful that you're all here.
Yeah, I just found out today, like basically an hour and a half ago. And yeah, I was really happy to be here today.
Thank you. And it's so much easier than the busyness and like the organizing it and making sure that it's on the calendar and that we're paying for this and that. It's just like, we just figured out how to do YouTube streaming like 2 seconds before. I think it's working. So if you're watching us on YouTube, welcome. We love you too. And I want to see from anyone else too. I know, Justin, you're here. Do you want to say anything? Nadia, I've spoken to you before too. We have a great podcast. Does anyone else want to share anything before I
Sure.
wrap?
Yeah, I'll say a little bit. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Charlie and Colleen, for stepping on. Siobhan, man, your music every time, it just touches my soul. It's so beautiful. I'm just weeping tears of joy. It's incredible. Thank you.
It's great when men cry.
Oh my goodness. And that's something I wanted to touch on. I'm looking around and seeing all these beautiful women here and this divine mother energy that's just pouring through. And there's been a lot of attention shown on that in Charlie's recent videos. And it's amazing because it's really inspiring. It's really inspiring my divine Father, my divine masculine energy to come out. And so I just want to congratulate y'all, like keep doing what you're doing, because it's doing wonders. Like it's doing so much beautiful work in this world, and it's activating so much. So thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And just touching on the communities that we're forming, and Charlie mentioning, you know, the more that we do the work, the more magnetic we become. So we start to attract those like-minded individuals. So just keep focus on that, like keep that attention on that, and it'll come. Just have that trust, have that faith, and we'll get there. But yeah, just a lot of gratitude, just a lot of appreciation. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you. And thank you, Justin. You know, you were one of the first guys that reached out to me. So it's fun that you're here for kind of our first live show too. That when I was on Eloise and Josh X, when I came on and talked to Charlie around my I don't want to say my cancer, but the cancer that I've been healing, and spoke about that, Justin, you reached out to me straight away and gave me so much love and energy. And I want to echo what you said too, just about these beautiful men. Like, yes, there are beautiful women, and yes, we're all, you know, doing what we can to clear ourselves and to become more magnetic, clean up our diets, all of that. But Justin, and there's just so many men that I've just been so attracted to, you know, not in a creepy way, but in a real honest, like, yes, thank you. Like, I know that you guys are out there and that you have had a hard time with this whole system as well, because it's been very unpopular for you to be open and loving and to serve the women and all of that. I mean, I come from a very patriarchal, you know, setup. So, and also Angelica Orthodox too. So I feel you around some of those indoctrinations that we received from, you know, the church. But yeah, so Justin, way to go for commenting, for being available. And I just know that such amazing stuff is magnetizing to you as well. It feels very natural. It just feels very natural. I can't say to you the level of miracles now that are happening just moment to moment. I can't even keep up with them. All I can do is just bow in gratitude that it's happening, and just stay tuned in.
Yeah, just wake up each morning with gratitude and thankful for another opportunity to get to spend in this. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect.
So perfect. It's so good. You're so awesome. You're
Thank
so
you.
awesome. Anybody else want to say anything?
I would like to.
Okay. Who's this?
I'm Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
I just wanted to say thank you for inviting me, Marie, and Charlie and Colleen. I have so much gratitude in my heart. I just want to say thank you for me to see the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Sorry, I just received it last weekend, so I have so much joy and gratitude in my heart. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I'm from South Africa, and so when Charlie was speaking about Mother Africa, and I'm living in America in Texas, oh, the tears were rolling down my face, because when you're born and grow up in Africa, it's the most special place. It's the most sacred place. We as children, we run naked when we're little, and we go to school bare feet, and just to be so grounded to Mother Earth it's such a pure joy. But with all the horror and terror and everything from South Africa, I came to America and followed my mother. And I would like to today share this painting I've done, and that's behind me, if you like to show it to you. Now, lions are my absolute favorite thing in the world to paint. And this amazing photographer took these two lines, and I asked her if I may paint them and then use my abstract form. And what I've done is, this line represents God. And as Marie was speaking earlier, when we turn our back away from God, but how I did this painting is, when we turn our backs away from God, sin overfalls us. And I used a wonderful Star Wars artist. I asked his permission if I can use his sin symbols that he put in his painting, in his work. And so I'll show them all to you. In the hair, I did pride as a mirror, then envy, the green, and then you'll see here lust is in a lady's bottom here. You'll see her is the hip. Then gluttony, greed is at the bottom here, a little hand, and then sloth. And then I put myself as a naked body in here. And this is also all the colors of sin that falls over us. And sin comes like a big Sahara, is the very big desert in Africa. And so it pushes us away from God. So that's kind of in the background. Sorry, I'm shaking a little bit because this is so surreal to show the world this painting. And but God's hand comes here and he grabs us back to him. And so here I did the Trinity symbol, and then here's little fish symbols in here, and then the blue eyes of God is all in all my different paintings. And I've done another beautiful one, and this is here, the Guardian.
Wow.
That's another painting, and that's God. He's always watching over me, and I'm going through a very struggled time now, at a crossroad of my life. And Charlie, I just want to say, this is a photo that was taken for me by an amazing Canadian, a wonderful photographer. I don't know if you all can see it. And my Goldilocks hair, but I had to cut off that beautiful Goldilocks hair because that was my pride. And I had to just strip myself absolutely clean from my own dragon I had to slay, and mostly like Samson in the Bible. But my pride was in my hair and in what, what I to look like and represent myself to other people. But I had to strip that all away and take away the pride and go deep inside and connect to God. And through all Charlie's beautiful and Colleen's beautiful teachings. And I was baptized in 2016, and then in 2017 I'd done this painting. And just this whole year, it just showed me, where am I right now, and understanding what the path God has for me, and teaching everybody through art how to alkaline your body and teach them how to paint and eat fruit. And that is what I want to do for my future, is just teach people this, to see how important it is for us to be alkaline, and how we will then open up the portals to go up inside. And I just want to thank you for this. Namaste. And this is just such a delightful, I found my tribe, my African tribe. And I'm very, very thankful. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you for sharing your art with us. I'm so inspired. It's not like we can necessarily go to the museums now and all of what they represent too, but just to be, taking over art again, taking our sovereignty back, taking our music back, using our gifts and talents for the benefit of all is really what this is about. And that's what the New Age is about, truly. And so your art was, wow, I think everyone here just feels so honored to be at your first debut. Your first debut here on Zoomland. And I think, just really.
Yeah, I asked Charlie what is menopause, because I was going through the menopause. I'm 47. And he explained to me where I am now, and it just, the light went on, globes, and it just all, I received my pot of gold and all the rainbow colors that I always use. I love color in my art. And I received God's blessing at the end of the rainbow. And I just truly know what a gift it is. And now to have to help people heal. One of my little niece had leukemia, and my sister healed her with all the other children, were passing away, but she had stage 4.1 leukemia, and she healed her with fruit and vegetables. And that's just so amazing.
Yes.
Just to know how we can help people heal.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. That's what this is about. It's about simplifying. It's like we can't believe it could just be fruits and vegetables. It's like it actually is. Becoming alkaline is one of the most enlightening things that has ever happened to me. I mean, just wow, it's so much fun. It's a process, and it's a journey, and we can get into that as we continue with these talks. But yeah, the healing power of the fruits of the earth, eating what the mother gives to us freely is such it's a delight. It's a gift. It's like, oh my gosh, like I can really drink like a whole liter of orange juice just for myself. Like, wow, this is so divine. This whole papaya is mine. Like, it's just incredible to really dive into this whole diet aspect of this awakening that we're all moving through. It's brilliant. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for being here and for being so open and being so loving. It's such a trip, isn't it? This whole thing. Is everybody okay? Everybody's okay. We're going to keep doing this, and we're going to sort out how to get you. I think what's going to happen is we're just going to start putting our course material on YouTube and sharing it. I think the easiest thing to do would be to invite you to our Facebook group for the Mighty Companions. And then we'll do a lot of our updates and things like that in there, and get you Zoom links for when we do our calls, and we'll just kind of go as we go through all of this. I really appreciate you guys holding the space for me too, because that's what this is about. This is not about one of us being better than anyone else, and that's what money always felt like. It always felt like I had something that you wanted in that exchange, and now it's like, look, we're in a circle. We all have a very important role as we continue to awaken, and everybody's role is essential. Everybody's participation is essential. So whatever bit you can do to come back to your natural state of being is the work of yoga, or whatever we want to call it, this great awakening. It really is about coming back to your natural state of being, which is at ease, which is using your gifts and talents for the benefit of all, eating the fruits of the earth, sacred friendship, right? I mean, geez, we've been so afraid to share, rightly so, because we've been taught to really, fight with each other and make each other wrong. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make you guys right. I want to be right. I want us all to be more and more righteous as we continue to grow. It's so beautiful. So thank you. Anyone else want to say something real quick before we go? I'm happy to have you for a quick minute.
I'll say something really quickly.
Okay.
Hi, can you see me? It's a bit dark where I am. Hi, everyone. Hi, Marie. I just wanted to say hi and just say that that I know that I wrote to you and said that, but it was back in 1999 when I did my yoga training with Larry. And I was just so drawn to him because he was the bad boy of yoga, and I was so against the grain and anything conventional. So he resonated with me. And I don't know whether you know, do you know Edward Clark from Trip Sickery? He was friends with him anyway, and he was in London. In London, yeah. So he was another bad boy, and so I trained with him over here, and then I came and did the rocket with you in 2005, I think it was, with you and Larry, and it was so great, and it totally, well, he was just one in a million, wasn't he? He totally changed my life and my outlook, and because he was just so unconventional, which was what I was too, and so he was just brilliant, and he was so cheap. really cheap.
And you know, he would have given everything away, Lana. I remember him having his books online, and everybody, and this is what happens, you know, you have a pure gift, you have an insight, you have a download, you share it, and then the business world comes in and says, well, you can't do that. You have copyright, you have trademark. People will take your stuff. And he was always so above it, like, let's take it, you know, it doesn't matter to me. And that's what's so fun for me, Lana, is that people like you are coming full circle. I mean, we're talking 15 years ago, we met in San Francisco.
Yeah. He was so generous, and you were a delight, and it was just fantastic, and it was so different. And here we are 15 years later, and with this madness, but it's so exciting. It's just so exciting. The new beginnings, the new earth, and it's just, it's amazing. And for us all to be going through the different stages that we're going through, but we're all in it together, and it's fantastic. And what a journey. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it too. And thank you for saying that, because we are at different stages, but what's so beautiful is that we can do it together. And like even these meetings, and what I realized with my Mighty Companions group is that, like, you know, it was great that we were having these amazing breakthroughs with 4 or 5, you know, at the most 10, 20 people. But now we have the capacity to really support each other. And because we are all brothers and sisters, let's just bring everybody in and trust, like what Justin was saying around magnetism, that the right people are going to come back to us. I mean, a 15-year circle, and here we are again. And that's so beautiful. And just so you guys know, for those of you who are interested in on the mat, like asana, and if you've heard of the rocket, which is kind of our claim to fame signature routines, we're going to put all of that up for free too. All of the old training circles, all of it, just because it's great. If you want to go do a yoga class and it's whatever time and you want to go do that, just go do that. And that's what the whole inspiration behind this is. And with Siobhan's music and with Angelica's book, it's about just getting this stuff out there. That feels so amazing. Like I'm just so excited. I'm so excited about that. And you're right, Lana, for me, this is full circle back to Larry. And so much gratitude for him, because he was the one who red pilled me first.
Yeah, you know? He was amazing.
He was amazing. And some of you might be getting red pilled, like Charlie Freak talks, and you might just be like, and like be like, well, I don't like Marie anymore. Like, does she really believe the earth is flat? And this is crazy. You know, like, I'm just going to invite everybody to just go slow and just put one foot in front of the other. And yes, it's this might, you know, wake up stuff inside you, but that's the point. We're taking the fear that's deeply inside in your cells, in your chakras, in your auric field. We're bringing it forward for transmutation. And that is all that's happening. So you don't have to hold on or be afraid of that. Just keep giving it up to spirit. Like Siobhan was singing, like, make me hallowed, hollow me out, clear me out, make me more and more transparent. And that's what's so exciting about these times, Lana. So yeah, when you reached out to me, I was in the car. We were doing like some random Christmas shopping. It was Christmas Eve. We'd got nothing for our kids. We were like, oh, right, it's Christmas. So we got them like a soccer ball and random stuff. But it was like fun to get in Messenger and to hear from all of you, all of your stories. It's so inspiring. And I just want you to know that we're here. All of us are here. Everybody here has a gift. And this is about just waking everybody up so that you're out there and you're sharing and you're serving. You will feel so much better when you're serving.
Can I say really quickly that there's so many amazing people out there, and what might resonate with somebody might not resonate with someone else. And we've just got to take what resonates with us. And it doesn't mean that we have to put them down because they have a different belief system or a different truth. But instead of rejecting it, just be open and just take what works for us, and then take something from someone else that works for us. It doesn't mean that because they're not speaking something that resonates that we have to reject them. So yeah,
I think that's important, especially in our culture right now where this cancel thing is just so popular. Delete, you know, it's like, wow, okay. But yeah,
too much judgment. It's all too much judgment, isn't it?
And that's what we do also in our work. And we have a whole tool on forgiveness. So like, it'll be a module. We're going to figure out how to get it up into YouTube. And if you want it now, just DM me and we will get you, we'll get you a code so that you can still use the back end of the website. Cause it is like, we spend a lot of money to like organize an online course. So it's there. But if you want that, just DM me and we'll make sure that we get it to you. And also Charlie's book, if you want it, on Joni Mitchell. That's the level it's going to get to, which is going to be very free. Like, you want something, here it is. And yeah, and take what works, and just stay open. But forgiveness is the key to happiness. If you hold judgments, if you hold grievances, it will make you sick. Trust me, I know all about this. And that is what we're all going to have to learn in a big way. And that's why I felt called also to put this stuff out there, because these tools really teach you how to do this. Because it's one thing to be like, yeah, don't be judgmental. But then what happens when you have a judgment? You know, how do you alchemize that? And a lot of us, I know for myself, geez, I needed a lot of practice and a lot of work. I've like 50 some forgiveness processes, like people in your life that you still, you know, a relationship doesn't end. So if someone's in your head and you have like a negative feeling about them, that still needs some work. That's still there, just because you might not see them. And that's the level. We want to be so detached from the matrix, so outside all of those plugins to those lower vibrational energies, which keep you dense. And that's what forgiveness is all about. Forgiveness is the goal of A Course in Miracles. It's the goal of our spiritual practice, because once you get to forgiveness, God takes that extra step. Because when you come to forgiveness, that means you've let go. You've let go of your perception. You've let go of your judgment. You've let go of your grievances, your forms, and all of that. And that's the beautiful work that we're up to. And I'm so excited. Lana, you're so sweet that you came here. And yes, the earth is level. Yeah, I mean, I'm open. I kind of think I had a plant medicine journey where like I knew that. And so when Charlie Freak said the earth is flat, I was like, oh my God, I know that. But that's crazy because it's a globe. And then your brain goes crazy. But you know what? Take it or leave it. It doesn't so much matter. What matters is that you keep your heart open. And that's the work. It's not necessarily
there, Marie, about all of that. You know, for me, and that forgiveness thing was with my mother. But I remember reading Eckhart Tolle and him saying, you know, when you can go outside of yourself and watch yourself, you know, and that whole self-awareness thing is really what everybody needs. And you know, I'm judging, oh no, I'm judging, I'm judging. You know, I'm constantly thinking about, what did you just say there now? You know, I don't want to be judged. Well, you're judging. You know, but I mean, it's a process. It's a process. We just have to keep judging until we're not judging anymore. So anyway, just self-awareness is the big thing there.
Beautiful, because awareness, and that's the whole model. It's awareness, healing, and vision, and all of these things are playing out. So having an awareness that you're judging is the great step, and just being willing to see it differently. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm so mad about A, B, and C. It's like, well, are you willing to see it differently? And if you were willing to see it differently, you will. Will is thought. So your thoughts will change. It's really kind of way out there stuff, but very simple and very exciting.
Well, it's doing the journey. It's doing the work. I'm sorry, but that's it. You just have to do the goddamn work. You know, you just have to. I mean, I'm not saying I have. I'm still doing it. You know, I mean, I really feel I know nothing still, you know, but I've still come an awful long way. So it's amazing. And forgiveness, yes. And the other thing about depression and stuff is, you know, I heard Jen McCarthy say this, and honestly, that's all the information you need about not being depressed, in that go do something for somebody. Go do something for somebody else, you know.
Totally. That's why this next level is all about service. And it's not about judgment. It's not about telling people that, you know, it's not like that is gone. I'm so excited about that. Like, I have to say, that's been really toxic energy of you know, you said, and like trying to prove people wrong and all of that. At this point, you get to pass through that portal.
I have a lyric and it says, the need to be right murders the spirit. It's just like, oh my God, stop wanting to be right all the time. And we're just trying to learn here. We're trying to go over and back without being sabotaged every time you say something that doesn't resonate with somebody else. I'm over it. I'm just so over it. But anyway.
There's a great quote that says, would you rather be right or happy?
Exactly, yeah.
You know, yeah. I'd rather be happy. And that's why I didn't make anybody wrong. Like all of these people, I was like, okay, fine. Like it wasn't easy because I was like, you know, it felt like a stab, like a hole in my heart. But at the same time, it was like, I wasn't going to make them wrong. And all of the energy it took for them to like make me wrong, I was like, gosh, that must have been so unpleasant. Like,
well, I wonder about that though. I mean, do they feel unpleasant after they've done that, like that annihilation of your character because you're wrong? You know, I've had to go through all of this for the last, you know, with COVID and the whole truth thing and all that. And the one thing I keep coming back to is, I'm not going to do what they're doing to me. I'm not going to do it.
And that's why they're
refuse to do it.
They're teachers, like, and that's how we look at it. That's how we stay at. We go, you're a master teacher for me. Thank you for showing me how calm I can be. Thank you for showing me how not to be. I bless you, brother, sister, whoever. Like, that is it. And I think they do, because I know how I feel when I do that.
Too, but I just go, well, maybe they're just not saying it. I mean, afterwards I'll go, oh God, I actually feel sick. I shouldn't have felt, I hate, why did I do that? You know, I don't know. Hopefully other people feel like that. But you know what? We're all on our own growth paths, and we just have to, I mean, I really have, I feel like it was like stages of grief with this awakening, because, you know, first of all, you're traumatized by what you're hearing about pedophilia and children and everything. And you go through the sadness, and then the anger, and then the nobody believed me, and oh my God, am I going mad? No, am I actually going mad? Is this really happening? Oh no, there is a matrix. Okay, yeah. And you know, and I just, that whole stage of these stages that we have to go through, and now I'm at I have peace about, I want, like at the start when I heard everything, I was like, why am I such a coward? I'm not shouting this from the rooftops. And I was like, I can't, because I can't actually deal with the conflict that I'm going to get. I'm not able for that conflict yet. And I'm just praying for more courage. And I don't have to shout it from the rooftops, but I mean, at some point the cat's going to be out of the bag, and Siobhan's not a liberal anymore, you know, so. And I hate labels, by the way. And, you know, so I don't even, never considered myself a liberal, but anyway, whatever. Sometimes you have to label just so people understand, but anyway, yeah, look, we're all in it together, and now at least we have this new community that we can rely on each other for that support, you know. And thank you, Marie.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your music. Thank you for your honesty, you know. And yeah, it's varying levels of this, but I think just having the awareness, like you were sharing, is really important. Like that things are happening that we don't want to happen anymore, and there is a right and a wrong. And I think the liberal thing is like, well, you know, we should just accept that. It's like, no, it's there is a spiritual, like there is good and there is evil, and we need to stop avoiding the evil. We need just to look at it and say no. And all of the different levels, and with all of our different gifts and talents, I think that that's what we're up to. I know the feeling though. It's a terrible feeling. It really is.
Everybody here has had the same feeling.
Yeah. Everybody's felt it.
And everyone thinks that you're the quack and you're the, you know, and you know what? I don't care anymore. Whatever, it's fine. But it is getting to that point where you can be at peace with that, you know. So it's just getting stronger and more courageous now.
And it's amazing, actually, like the detachment, because again, it's the lessons that I was sharing with you earlier that we learned, like not caring about what other people think about you, you know, and allowing other people to have their thoughts and feelings, like just allowing that. Yeah, we can do that in some. This is about that on all levels. It really is a detachment from the old system, you know, as Charlie likes to call it, organized society. Like you're stepping out of those, you know, where there's operating instructions. You have to do this, you have to do that, or you have to run through all these hoops. We don't have to do that anymore. Like we're kind of over that. And that's a blessing. It's like, all right, I'm just not gonna, you can think whatever you want. I'm gonna alchemize my feelings. I'm not gonna make you wrong. I'm just gonna be like, okay, I have all of this, and how am I going to let this go? And how am I going to give it to God? Like literally, how can I do that? And what tools do I have? And what breaths do I take? And what art do I have? What song do I have? What yoga do I have? It's like really getting out, my invitation for all of us is to not spend so much time in the fear.
Yeah.
Like, get in, but get out. You know, it's all an illusion. Like, you know that it's toxic, you know, all of that. But that's what I was learning as this was all unfolding for me. It was like, I couldn't avoid it, but I could also trust that it wasn't permanent, right? This too shall pass.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, you know, with all of that faith over fear, Magdalena, yeah, it is. It's like, have faith that this is, you know, this is moving, and this is what Christ consciousness is about. You know, he went to the depths of the dungeons, to hell, and he brought people back up with him. And that's what this is. It's not like just hanging out and la-di-da. It's like, we're here for the salvation of the world. And that's what we're up to. It's big. It's not easy. You've got to heal the sick and the suffering, and people are going to say things. It's not going to be pretty. But what I love about Christ consciousness and stepping more and more fully into it for myself and every moment of every day is that it masters you. Like, you kind of disappear more and more. All of your fears and your thoughts and like, you just get so like, okay. And from that space, like, I can hold more space for others. Does that make sense? That's what's been so amazing, is like, even for Christmas Eve, like, we had some friends over, and it's a beautiful friend, and she's had such a deep year. She's going through a divorce, all this stuff, and her kids. And we just had such an amazing high vibe experience, because it wasn't about, I didn't have any, I took no thought to myself. It was all about, let's have a great time. And that's how you master, how it masters you. Your ego gets less and less in control. Your ego is literally edge God out. Okay? Your ego wants to be the boss. It knows that you have a higher self. It knows that you have a higher intelligence. It doesn't know what it is. It's frustrated by it, but it's constantly trying to get your attention through usually your body, you know, or through a relationship, a distraction. Or remember when that person said that, you know, remember those random thoughts. You'll be doing great and you'll think of something and you'll be like, oh, that's your ego. Oh, hello, goodbye. Hello and goodbye. And you just keep, like Charlie says, casting your net to the right and being more, it just happens. It just keeps happening more and more. And that's why I feel so guided to share. You guys are so amazing. Does anyone else want to say anything? I know we've been trying to complete, but I don't even know what's happening these days. These calls go, we had a 12-hour call the other day for the solstice. Like, I was on it for 12 hours, like not live, but it was just so much fun to just be like, oh, this is what I do now.
Well, just to touch on what you said, I mean, Satan's greatest deception is convincing the world that he doesn't exist. And so therefore we don't acknowledge our shadow side and we ignore it, and therefore it takes over. So the whole doing the work is acknowledging it and accepting our shadow side, integrating it, alchemizing it, and saying, no, I'm not going to let that take hold. I'm not going to let that control me. And therefore I will be the one stepping forward. I'll be the one calling the shots. And, you know, I think that's really important to remember.
Beautiful. And that's what a lot of the spiritual world does. It's all unicorn. It's like, no, there's no evil. Right. Don't go there. And that's what Angelica said too. Like, we're bringing it in. You're embracing your spirit. One of my favorite teachers is Danielle Laporte, and she's become a friend over this period. And you can follow her on Instagram. She's got beautiful work out there too. But she said at one point, you know, that your ego is like your deep sensitivity. It's like, it's your inner child. It's your woundedness. And so, yes, it's about bringing it to the surface. It's about accepting that you're there. And that's the healing process. And it's deep. It goes, you know, from the separation, really. If we talk about that moment, like the despair we felt in that moment of being separate from God. That's what that is. And then it's like through all of the lifetimes for the last however many eons that we're healing. And that's the beauty of this work, is that we can inspire each other to go deeper and deeper by embracing the parts of us that are wounded, that are confused, that are frustrated, and not shoving them back in, but bringing them up. Oh, hello. Yes, but you need not worry. I'm here now. Who's here? God, Christ, you showed up. Thank goodness. as the man you were meant to be. Like, that's a beautiful thing. And so what happens is you get to be this nurturing soul. You get to be of service to your inner child, to the inner child of others, to the woundedness in others, to the trauma. And this is just going to happen. I want to chime in. My dogs are freaking out. I'll have to wait till the next call. Okay, Jennifer. And we're going to do this. This is part of what the Mighty Companions is about. We have 2 monthly calls. We'll probably just have monthly or weekly times like this. So you can come in and you can share, and I'll give a little talk, and then that's what we'll do. Fun? How much do you guys love Charlie Freak and Colleen? Pretty great.
I love Charlie
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Thank you for them. They really helped me fill in a lot of the dots where I felt really quite advanced in many ways. But wow, does it feel fantastic to have teachers again? Like, it was like one day I just woke up and thought I had to be the teacher. So much more fun like this. So much more fun. So much more fun. I appreciate every single one of you. Shelly, I see you too. Caroline and your beautiful daughter, Leland. Hi. Nadia, I know you've been in and out. Maybe next time you'll say a little something for us. I love you all so much, and DM me for more. We're going to figure out how to get this course content. I saw my really cute husband send me something. Let me see. Maybe I'll post it here in the show notes. Oh, here's how to get into the back end of the courses. Okay. I'll just copy it here if you want to grab it. And but I'm not worried about it. I think we're all going to sort this out as we go. All right. Any final words? Speak now.
Thank you so much, Marie. I think what you're doing is absolutely incredible. Like, it's amazing. And, you know, I feel like I felt so alone for so long. I just really wanted to share something really quick. And this tribe, like, makes me feel so at home. Like, it's incredible. So keep doing what you're doing, and let's connect even more people together, because this is very beautiful. So thank you.
You're so beautiful. Really. I mean, 17, you guys.
Thank
This
you.
lady. Seriously, what a powerhouse you are, honey. And we're so
Thank you
here
so
for you.
much, Marie.
Tell me when you want me to come on your show, and I'm happy to do it. I'm so excited. I feel so free. And Siobhan too. Siobhan will come. Angelica, I was going to sing too.
Yes, I'll be happy to. And again, I apologize for messing up names. Next time, I promise I'll have my glasses. And I feel so bad, Shaban.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so, but yeah, thank you so much for having me here. I did not expect to talk. So I thought, okay, it's my first one. I'll just observe. But yeah, thank you, Marie. What you're doing is amazing. Every word is gold from everybody, what I've heard so far. And yeah, it's beautiful.
Don't worry about not saying my name. I can't say yours either.
Angelica. My name is
Angelica.
Lithuanian, Angelica, and my last
Okay.
name is Gania.
Okay,
Yeah, Angelica.
Have you an Instagram?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Spell it out now so I won't get it wrong.
Angelica.
Angelica.
Sorry, and then my last name, G as in George, Anea.
EA.
It's basically
There you
like
are. I
pronounced
got you.
Gaia with an N, Ganya. Yeah.
Mother Gaia. Good girl.
Well, it's
Thanks
with an
for-
N, but it's the same because people ask me how do I pronounce it, Ganea or it's Ganya, Angelica Ganya.
Great, have
Check
it.
out your book.
Singer-songwriter, a fellow singer-songwriter. Oh my God, it's so great.
Yeah, you have such a beautiful voice.
Oh,
I was
thank you.
literally like, I definitely do not get tears when I hear Ariana Grande, and I love her voice. But you brought tears to my eyes.
Well,
And I
think
always
that's
tell
our
my
job,
daughter,
isn't it?
yes, I always tell my daughter loves singing as well. And by the way, is it Shelly? I think
Shelly.
Shelly, yeah.
17-year-old. I know.
She's
it's so
17
amazing.
too. Yeah, my daughter is the same. She has basically no friends because it's the same reason.
I know.
But yeah, it's I love singing and writing,
No,
and
I
yeah,
know, you
we'll
just
share
have-
that more in the future. Yeah.
It'd be great. Yeah, it'd be great. I hope we can do a show together sometime.
Oh, that would be. You have such a beautiful voice. I can't even
Thank you.
express myself.
Thank you.
Beautiful. and a lot of wisdom. All of you guys, all of you. I'm really happy
Yeah, no, it's been
to
amazing.
meet you.
So great. It's just full of hope for going forward. It's great. Thank you, Marie.
Yeah. I just wanted to say one thing about what you guys were talking about, forgiveness and all these things. I just feel, because I think in very simple terms, I just feel that people should just, I heard this many times, what others think of you is none of your business. I just wish people just really understand that we're all unique. Every single one of us is unique. And that means that we also have unique beliefs, unique ideas. Everything is unique about us. And as long as we just respect each other, that's all we need to do. Respect each other and allow each other to grow at our own pace. I feel that's the problem in the world. That's what it comes down to. And then when we just realize that, we realize that actually there is nothing to forgive, actually, because it's none of our business even if they, and I've been through this, and I'm presently experiencing something like this where a bunch of people really got me all wrong, and they just, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm learning to just let them be. That's their choice to be like that. And by the way, I think they do feel bad inside. They just either don't admit it, or they know they feel bad, but they're so used to it that they don't realize how good it could feel if they actually let go of hatred and anger.
Yeah. Well, we've normalized fear. Fear is a very normal energy these days. Like, we don't even realize that we're being dominated by fear, and that we live in a low state of anxiety most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's it, right? Nothing needs to be forgiven except for the judgment that we make. And once that happens, then and letting people be. It's like, just let them be. It's hard because
it is because we want to please everybody. We want people to like us. We want to have, and I think it's as good people, which I think we are. We want that much more than they want it, because we want everybody to get along. We want, okay, why doesn't this person understand? Like, we want it so much. But we, at least for me, I'm talking about me, that I had to learn to literally let go of what anybody else and everybody thinks of me and what their opinions are, and just to respect it, whatever that is. And as long as they don't come and physically hurt me, because then that's when my warrior side will come out and show my boxing skills. Other than that, I'm learning to just let them be and do my thing. Do my thing, because when we let them pull us down is when our creativity goes down and everything goes down, and we, like Charlie says, we cast our net to the left instead of the right. So we just,
beautiful. I think that's the blessing of all of this too, is that when you do detach and when you do allow, the gifts are endless, and even their part in it is perfect and perfectly played. That little cat. And that's so amazing too, that there are no mistakes in this whole beautiful plan, which has to do, oops. It's like my power just went out. That's weird. Are we still on?
Yes,
you're still here. Yeah.
Wow, that was so weird. Everything just went out. Now they're on to me, guys. YouTube. All right, let's wrap this. Anybody else? I love you guys. I love you all so much. And we'll do this again next week. Do you want to do a song before we go, or?
Oh, yeah. What could I do? Will I do Joni's Circle Game?
Yay! I love this one. Okay.
Let me do this.
We can't hear you. I can't
First.
hear you.
It's okay. I just was clearing my throat.
Okay.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly in inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. All together. The seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like when you're older must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town, and they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circle down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams and plenty, before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game, and go round and round and round in the circle game. Thank you. You know, all my stuff is free online, so Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. There's more live stuff on the YouTube one, so just look up my name. It's all there, and my new record is called "You Can't Run Out of Love," and that's all there. So have a great time.
Thank you. We love you so much. We love all of you so
guys.
much.
Yeah, thank you
So much gratitude. Have a miraculous week. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Be in the love. Stay in touch, and we'll do this again very soon, okay?
Take care, guys.
Lots of
Thank
love.
you. Bye.
Okay. I love you all. Love you all.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.